Hello everyone. This video is about showing you on how do we buy a land in India. So most of the people in India, their dream would be like having purchasing a land or constructing a new home, buying a new house. So the land or a house is placed as a mandatory for a living person in India. So it is like a dream goal or like a dream achievement having a land or buying a house in India. So based on this consideration, I thought of explaining my self experience on how do we buy a land. So this video would completely show you on how do we buy a land in India and uh, what are the precautions we need to take when we buy like or what are the things we need to measure whenever you buy a land. Okay, so let's go ahead and see into the details about the land. So okay, first you need to decide why do you want to buy a land. So this is the very important question. It should come to your point, that is whether is it for your construction of a home, or do you want to buy this land for any kind of construction. The construction can be either for a building, apartment, flats, or if you want to buy a independent house, or it's for a commercial or any other way. So just you need to decide why do you want to buy a land. Okay, then is it for an investment? So first was for a construction or for an investment. Investment, when I say an investment, so many of the people buy land, invest for an investment purpose and expecting a hike or growth in the land. So with my personal experience, I can say you that investing a certain amount in a land will give you always a profit. The thing is you need to wait for a certain period of time. Okay, so this is how you make your mind like why do you want to buy a land, either it is for construction or for an investment. Okay, so what are the various lands we have? So to give you more details, like we need to know what are the different kinds of lands available, right? So you have decided like you want to do construction or for an investment. So okay, so the various lands might be, it's a residential lands and we call it as a plots. It is mostly we mostly buy it for constructing a house. Okay, and then we have a agricultural land. So if you want to do some agriculture and if you want to grow your own agriculture things like rice, paddy, wheat. I mean, it depends on your interest. So if you have a passion of growing, of having a main own agricultural land, so then you can go for agricultural land, and commercial lands for commercial buildings, and industrial lands for making an industrial thing. So these are the various lands that are being categorized. And while purchasing a land, the next important thing is land measurements. So you need to measure your lands. The lands are measured basically in acres. Like acres, we call it as acre. 1 acre is equals to 4840 square yards. Now the question is, what is a square yard, right? So next we call, then it comes to the guntas. So we call guntas. 1 gunta is equals to 121 square yards. Okay, now a square yards can be measured as 1 square yard is equals to 1 square foot, and then finally it's a square foot, right? So in this way, you can measure your lands, and while purchasing a land, you have to make sure so in what measurements you're purchasing, whether you're purchasing it in acres, guntas, square yards, or square foot. Okay, so you may also want to know how many guntas make 1 acre, right? So 1 acre equals to 40 guntas. Okay, so this is about a land measurement. So you have decided what kind of land you want to purchase and what are the different kinds of lands you have available, and now you know the land measurements, right? Next, documents to verify while purchasing. So this is very important. Documents that you need to verify while purchasing. The one thing is encumbrance certificate. We call it as a EC. So if you are a resident of Telangana or AP, Andhra Pradesh. So you can directly visit to this website which is showing here, registration.telangana.gov.in or registration.ap.gov.in. So here, once you open this website, so you have an in the left side you have an option called encumbrance certificate. When you click on that, it will be ask you for some document number and the date of year of registration, so where you can check the property of the owner. So I'm going to show you how the property can be verified. Okay, so this is it. I mean, you need to get the encumbrance certificate from the respective party where you wanted to purchase, from whom you are purchasing your land. That is called as a in EC. Okay, so where it shows the property of the owner, so who is the seller, and the name will be reflecting, and who all are the previous owner. You can see the entire things, or you can see the links of various things here in the encumbrance certificate. Okay, then next you need to have a sale deed Xerox copy. It is when you purchase a land, so this is the sale, we call it as a sale deed. So it will be on the owner side. You may need to ask for the sale deed Xerox copy, where it will show you the actual information about the land. So how many acres or how many square yards the land is. So, and you can check the measurements, and it will have all the measurements and the date and time on which register office it was registered and which SRO it is related to. Okay, and you may need to also know the HMDA approval if you are from a Telangana. So it is like a Hyderabad Metro Development Authority approval is needed if it comes under the city. Okay, and city surroundings. So we have a certain period of area where it comes under HMDA layout, HMDA area. So we need to have an HMDA approval, or you may need to have a DTCP approval. So most of the villages, if you are buying a land, you may need to have a DTCP approval. So it is called as a Directorate of Town and Country Planning. Or and you may need to have a gram panchayat approval if you're buying a land from a gram in a village. Okay, or a sarpanch. Basically a sarpanch will provide this approval whenever any layout is being done by a vendor. Whoever is selling its venture, whoever the ventures are you may need to have a gram panchayat approval. And if earlier the venture, whatever you are seeing, the layouts which you are seeing, if you are buying a plot, so the vendor, I mean whoever the venture has been created, the owner, he might do some layout. He has to make a proper plan of the layout, and he has to get it approved by the sarpanch or the HNDAP approval, right? So before to that, you need to also see the agriculture to non-agriculture conversions letter. There will be, it is approved by the government. So you need to also collect agriculture, you need to also verify agriculture to non-agriculture conversion. This is very, very important. Why? Because if something happens in the future, you may need to pay a separate charges for it if this land is not being converted from agriculture to non-agriculture conversion. The rule is you cannot construct a building or house if it is agricultural land. First it needs to be converted to a non-agricultural land, then only you can construct it. So this is basically taken care by the venture people, so whoever is doing that venture. So if not, we may need to convert it. Suppose you have an agricultural land, you wanted to construct a house, so you need to convert it to a non-agricultural land. There will be some charges to conversion. Okay, so finally you need to have a Pahani will be produced by the MRO, or mostly by the MRO office, so where you need to go there. Or if the vendor, you may need to ask the seller, so if they have a Pahani, so you might say he might have it or he may not have it. So if you are buying a land in some acres, 10 acres or 15 acres, it is always advised to have a Pahani produced and to verify. So you go to MR office to ask for a Pahani for this so and so period, so and so SRO numbers. So they basically we'll have an SRO numbers for each property. So SRO numbers will be there, you can see it. Okay, so once you got all these documents, so how to verify these documents if the documents is genuine or good to buy. So this is very important, right? So you need to know how do you verify this, the property is genuine or good to buy. So collect all the above documents and take a legal advice from our, go to the lawyer, respected lawyer, give submit your all documents, give him a time, he will verify all the documents and he'll say, he'll give a stamp like it's a good property to buy or the bad property. If it is good, go and buy the good. The next way is to go to the registrar office, get a confirmation that there is no legal issue on that particular land, right? So you'll be directly going to registrar office, showing you the documents, and the office members, the respective team will be verifying the documents, and they'll tell you if there are any legal issues on that land, or if that land belongs to a government or any other court cases or anything. Okay, you should not purchase the government lands. It's a thumb rule, like you should never purchase a government lands. Anytime government may acquire those lands, right? Make sure on the EC you see a owner name. So this is how you verify the property and ready to buy. So now you got a good information, you know what kind of lands you want to purchase, where you want to purchase, how do you measure the lands, and what are the required documents you need to collect, and how do you verify the documents. Now it's time, what's next if the property is genuine. So now you identified the property is good. So now with the seller, you may need to pay some token amount. We call the token amount to block that particular plot or particular land. So and you make a sale of agreement by making some partial payment to him, and you promise to pay, you make an agreement like I would be paying the remaining amount during the registration of time, or 15 days or 30 days or 45 days. What are the agreement you make between the seller and the buyer? So pay the remaining amount during the registration time. Mostly they say like I will pay the remaining amount registration time or 45 days. Note, you may see a difference in the rates, that is the government value. What is the government? There might be a rate differences between the what you are purchasing from the buyer or seller and the government value. So there will be a lot of difference. So normally you can see those differences, and you can also see these government values on the website provided by the government. So if it is Telangana, you can see registration.telangana.gov.in. if it is a AP, registration.ap.gov.in. in this part, by visiting this particular website, you will be coming to know, you can see all the details. Okay, now it's time for registration time. So what things we need to carry when you are going for registration? Aadhaar card, if it is being mandatory, photocopies or any identity. Aadhaar card, if you don't have an Aadhaar card, you may need to take any other identity copy where you have the address. So the photocopies of you, and the PAN card. So the PAN card is added 5, because if the property is more than 5 lakhs, you may need to produce the PAN card. uh, PAN card. So witness from both sides, the buyer and seller. Sale deed, it will be prepared by the document writer, available near register office. At the respective register office, you can find the document writer that will help you in preparing the sale deed. So witness from buyer and seller. Then you need to pay the DD in the favor of sub registrar. You never make a payment cash in the register office. You need to always make a payment in the form of DD in any of the banks, like it might be either SBI, SBS, ICICI, Axis, HDFC, any of the banks. You can pay this in the favor. So you need to ask a particular person or a particular officer to in what favor you need to pay an amount. So there will be a registration particular registration amount that will be given from the register office, or you can ask the document writer. So he'll tell you, so what are the present rates available for that particular land or for that particular area. Okay, and you make a payment and you'll go it. So that's it, you're ready for registration. Now what you'll do, you'll walk inside the office, you'll provide your thumb impressions, they'll take a photo through webcam, and registration is done. And they might provide you a document number and year of registration. So the document number and the year of registration, and within 1 to 2 days you'll receive your documents. And at the same time, you can check the status online by visiting the website www.registration.telangana.gov.in or www.registration.ap.gov.in, or if you are from any other state, so registration.statename.gov.in. Okay, so in this way you can verify the registration thing. Okay, so that's it. congratulations on buying a land. So in this way you can buy your land. So just to recap, so these are the different things you have seen. So again I will just have a quick refresh. So you'll just do construction land strength, various lands, residential, agriculture, industrial, land measurements you can see here, and documents that need to be verified here. How to verify the documents here, and its registration times. You need to carry this. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got a good information and it was helpful. If you like this information, please forward to your friends, neighbor that might be helpful to them. Okay, and this information may not be useful for this time, but definitely it would be helpful in future. Thank you and have a great day.